Rejection. The word alone sounds cold, sharp, final. It's the door that slams before you ever get a chance to knock again. A job interview that ghosted you. A person who wasn't ready, but somehow got married 6 months later. That feeling when life tells you, no, not you, not now. And let's be honest, rejection feels like proof that you're not good enough, that you tried and failed, that all those affirmations, journal entries, and quiet little hopes didn't mean a damn thing. But here's what the Stoics knew. Rejection is not an ending, it's redirection. And if you learn how to read it, really read it, rejection will become one of your greatest spiritual teachers. So here are 13 times Stoicism shows you how rejection works in your favor, even if it feels like the universe just flipped you off. 1. If they didn't choose you, it wasn't your place to stay. Marcus Aurelius said, what stands in the way becomes a way. So if someone says you're not the right fit, good. That's your way now. That's the path. Rejection reveals who's truly aligned with your energy. You don't want to beg to belong somewhere your soul's not welcome. Let them keep their table. You'll build your own. 2. The pain is a signal, not a sentence. Epictetus taught. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Rejection hurts, but it doesn't have to scar you. That sting? It's just feedback. A cosmic notification that says, hey, we're rerouting you. Bigger things are loading. Sit tight. 3. Silence is also an answer and a gift. Ghosted? Ignored? Don't chase after echoes. Seneca would tell you, if their silence leave you confused, imagine what their presence would have done. Rejection through silence is still clarity. Be grateful you didn't waste more time decoding mixed signals from someone who wasn't emotionally literate. 4. You don't need everyone to understand your value. Your worth is not a group project. If one person or one company or one audience didn't see your light, that's not a verdict. That's just data. Even Socrates was hated by many. Didn't stop him from becoming immortal in history books. Stop trying to be universally accepted. Even truth gets booed sometimes. 5. What you lost wasn't aligned with who you're becoming. Sometimes rejection is God's way of protecting you from a version of yourself you've outgrown. You wanted that relationship because of who you were, but you're not them anymore. You wanted that job because it felt like survival, but you're not surviving now. You're evolving. Trust the closed door. It saw something you couldn't yet. 6. Rejection forces clarity. When you get rejected, all the fluff disappears. You see who's real. You see what mattered. You get sharper, wiser. As Musonius Rufus said, practice not letting your emotions overrule your reason. When you're not chosen, it makes you finally ask, why did I want that so badly? Sometimes you'll realize you were chasing approval, not purpose. 7. It breaks the illusion that control equals security. You tried your best. You rehearsed. You prayed. You visualized. And still, it didn't go your way. Good. Now you're free. Free from the myth that you control outcomes. All you control is your effort, your presence, your values. Let the results fall where they may. That's not failure. That's philosophy. 8. It gives you a reason to rise again. If rejection knocks you down, let it. But don't stay there. Get up with more silence, more focus, more humility. Rejection is not your enemy. It's your rebirth. The Stoics didn't ask, why me? They asked, what now? So get up, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that you were always right. 9. It humbles your ego but strengthens your soul. No one is owed approval, not even you, and rejection is how the universe reminds you of that. Seneca reminds us that fortune is unpredictable. If you expect life to go your way just because you tried hard, you're still living in ego. Rejection pulls you out of the fantasy and into the real. That's where the soul grows, in the gaps between what you expected and what actually happened. 10. It cuts the cord between attachment and outcome. We chase, we obsess, we crave. But Stoicism teaches us to hold life with an open palm. You applied. You spoke your truth. You showed up. Now let go. The outcome? That's none of your business. Attachment is pain in disguise. And rejection is how the universe detoxes you from that addiction. 11. It builds a kind of resilience you can't fake. You don't get stronger from applause. You get stronger from silence, from loss, from showing up when no one's watching. When life says no, but you keep showing up, that's power. Rejection reveals who's pretending and who's becoming. 12. The rejection isn't always about you. Sometimes the door is closed because they're not ready. Sometimes they're scared, or chaotic, or confused. And sometimes the rejection was never personal. It was just a mismatch of frequency, of timing, of purpose. Stop blaming yourself for other people's inability to see your light. 13. The universe removes what distracts you from your purpose. You thought that was your path. You swore that was your person. But purpose doesn't beg. It redirects. And rejection is how it clears the noise. Now, without the distraction, what will you build? Who will you become? The door didn't close because you're unworthy. It closed because you're being rerouted to the life that's actually yours. Rejection is not rejection. It's redirection, revelation, realignment. Let them say no. Let them walk away. Let the opportunity fall through and say thank you, not because it didn't hurt, but because you now see what's truly meant for you can't be lost. And what you lost was never truly meant for you. Let Stoicism be your compass. Let rejection be your teacher. And let your life, the one you're building, be your loudest answered so. What now? The door's closed. They didn't text back. The interview went silent. You're sitting with the echoes of not this, not you, not yet. What do? You breathe, not to numb it, not to force yourself to move on, but because breath is what reminds you you're still here. And being here means something is still unfolding, because rejection is loud at first. It screams, you failed. But if you get quiet, really quiet, you'll hear the truth whisper back. No, you're being refined. This isn't punishment. It's preparation. You're not being erased. You're being edited. And isn't that what all great stories go through? The unnecessary gets cut. The extra gets stripped away. What's left is essential. And what's essential is finally seen. So maybe you didn't get what you wanted, but maybe what you wanted was never what your soul truly needed. The Stoics weren't emotionless statues. They were warriors of inner peace. They still hurt, still lost, still loved, but they didn't cling. They trusted that anything meant for them would not pass them by. Can you do the same? Can you unclench your fists? Can you stop begging the door to open again? Can you say thank you to the no? Because here's the final truth. The one Stoicism in life will both teach you if you're patient enough. Rejection is God protection, not in the cliche way, but in the cosmic surgery kind of way, where your old self gets removed so your true self can rise. And when it does, you won't want that old door anymore. You'll bless it for closing. You'll laugh at how hard you try to keep it open. And you'll walk, not run, toward the life that was always waiting on the other side. Not everyone will see you. Not every dream will land. Not every chapter will end with applause. But you'll rise anyway. Silently, strongly, stoically, because rejection isn't your ending. It's the beginning of a you that can no longer be denied. So if you've been rejected, good. Let it burn. Let it shake you. Let it take everything that was weak, unsure, or built on the need to be chosen, and let it fall away. Because what's left after the rejection, after the silence, after the collapse, is something you can finally build on. Something real. Something no one can take from you. You don't need to be accepted to be worthy. You don't need their approval to be powerful. You don't need that closed door to define your direction. You are still here, still breathing, still becoming. And in that is everything. This is your becoming season. Not loud, not flashy, but steady, unshakable. One quiet choice at a time. One silent step forward. One deep breath that says, even if they don't choose me, I still choose me. That's what Stoicism teaches. That life will not always hand you what you hope for, but it will always offer you a mirror. And in that mirror, you'll see you were never meant to be picked. You were meant to remember who you are. Rejection is not the enemy. It's a redirection, a sacred interruption, a divine reroute to a version of you that doesn't chase, beg, or break, but stands, rooted, calm, unapologetically enough. And from this moment forward, that is who you will be. And now, as the echoes fade and the silence returns, carry this with you. You were never abandoned, only redirected. You were never rejected, only refined. The world may not always clap for your becoming, but your soul will always know the way home. Take this moment. Walk forward, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself you were always right to believe. Until next time, stay grounded, stay graceful, and never forget your power begins where their approval ends. Goodbye for now, but never goodbye to your growth. Dizzy.